welcome back to the Lifelong Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Molly from Three Pines Leadership, and thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, hi! This is yet another episode in our little mini-series on passive income. So those of you who want to either diversify your streams of income, or those of you who would like to take your income to the next level and just have a little bit more available. We've been diving deeper into those kinds of issues in the last few episodes. So this is actually the last episode in the passive income series here on Lifelong. But if you're enjoying it, let me know. Connect with me on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever platform you like. I'm Coach Molly on Twitter, Three Pines Leadership on Instagram. And let me know what kind of passive income streams have you heard of? What do you want me to dive deeper into? What kinds of questions do you have? Because if you're loving it, I will definitely get back into this topic a little bit more. But today, we're talking about two things that I absolutely love, and I get so excited when I'm able to have these kind of intersectional conversations. So today, we're talking about the intersection of passive income and mindset. Because passive income, playing this game, as I would say, being part of this world is not for everyone. I'll tell you that. The people who have been successful in the worlds of passive income are people who have a little bit of a different mindset. They see the world a little bit differently than the average bear. They're driven. They have this internal ambition, not just for money, but for something deeper, for like a deeper passion that really drives them forward. This pursuit of achieving either more residual income or more freedom, that journey that they're taking is what is really driving them. And it's going to be different for everyone. The biggest difference between someone who's successful in passive income and someone who's not is the mindset of try. It doesn't matter if you're failing. You have to be able to try a whole bunch of different endeavors. We've talked about this in the last few weeks where there's so many different opportunities out there. If you just try one and you fail and you don't try something else, you're not going to ever be successful. So you have to have that mindset of both learning from your failures, but also try again. So what do you need to actually be successful? Well, for anyone who is choosing to go down the road of residual income, you need to be able to fluctuate your spending. You need to be able to understand where your money's coming from. So once you have the information, you can make better decisions on the go. You need to be able to diversify what's coming in as well. So you need, again, to try. So doing lots of different stuff. But at the same time, you need to also be able to rein in and recognize your risk assessment skills. You need to be able to say, this endeavor requires X amount of resources, and that is a little bit maybe too much above your threshold at the time. And that's okay. Try something else. Remember, we talked about leveraged income. So maybe that's part of your risk assessment plan, and that's part of your threshold is allowing for a buffer of debt. Maybe your risk assessment plan says, no, we're absolutely not taking on any more debt, and that will be the deciding factor either way. But you need to also have restraints. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. You also need to recognize that this isn't like a 9-to-5 job where you have a supervisor or you have a boss who's reminding you that tasks are due, who's assigning tasks to you, or even the structure of having a time to show up at work and a time to go home at the end of the day. When you're solely responsible for yourself, it can be very, very difficult for people to make that transition, to be able to be self-motivated and self-driving. And that's why I always implore you to connect back to what you're passionate about. Connect back to your values, because those are going to stay strong when times get tough, and they will be a great compass for making decisions. They'll be a great compass for finding that motivation as well. For example, if the most important thing to you is your kids and being there for your kids, well, that's really going to make a quick decision when it comes to whether or not you're going to work that overtime shift. If spending time with your kids is the most important, then that's what you're going to use as your decision maker. So when it comes to passive income, if you don't have that fire under your butt to get up and put in that work, even if you're not necessarily seeing returns at the time, or you do the math and you realize that within the first week, your song, say you're making music and putting that out, maybe your song is only giving you like $10 or $15 in that first week, and you look at that and you're like, oh, well, that sucks. That's not worth it for the amount of time I put in. When you start to do that math, it can be really discouraging. But when you step back and you look long term and you say, well, I was going to put in that time to produce the song anyways because it's something I enjoy. And now I can sit back and continue to make that $10 or $15 a week, plus all of the other $10 or $15 a week I'm getting for all the other songs I've been working on. It starts to make a little bit more sense. So find patience, my friends. Have enough structure, but also be able to be flexible. Connect your why. Again, plug yourself into your values so that you can find that motivation. And so everything kind of comes back together and makes sense. And remember to diversify, to try different things. When something's working, the great rule about passive income is you don't just have one. So if one's not working so well, try something else. If that one sticks, great, pick something else as well. And try and have as many working as you can balance. But make sure you're focusing on really developing each one at a time. So thank you so much for joining me, not only for this episode, but for all of the episodes in this passive income series. I really hope you got something out of these short little episodes, that hopefully they sparked some kind of thought in you. If you're just working a 9-to-5 right now, make sure that you start diversifying your income, maybe with passive income, maybe with a side hustle. It's fine to start by trading your time for money, but remember, you can push past that. The world out there, there's so many possibilities. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear how you're connecting your passions and changing the world, because the more of us who are willing to speak up and share our talents, our skills, our abilities, our perspective with the world, the more massive change we can have, my friends. And I believe in you. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode, for this little mini series. Remember to subscribe to the Lifelong Podcast wherever you're listening to it, on whatever podcast platform you find us on. And if you're interested in watching the video format of the podcast, you can find it at the Three Pines Leadership YouTube channel as well. So I'm going to sign off, my friends. Next episode will be something completely different. I'll keep you, I'll just give you that much. I'll keep you on your toes to see what's going to happen next episode. Until then, my friends, remember, I love you, and be excellent to each other.